Yo, what up? So today is the first day of Waking Flame, the new DLC for ESO, and a lot has changed. As you may or may not know, they modified medium and light armor, so it's not specifically separated anymore for light being for Magicka classes and medium being for stamina. Now the bonuses are universal, and that opens basically an infinite amount of possibilities. It's a really exciting patch. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of sets that I'm still trying to get that I want to try, but I managed to put together a new build that is just fantastic. It's just like it's a whole different level of playing Sorc. The freedom, the power, the versatility that we have with all of this choose from medium armor is fantastic. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so let's have a look at the stats here. When we fully buff up and use our potion, 4200 spell damage with a lot of main stats, 42k max mag, 31k max HP, and 22k max stam. When we shield up, the HP is actually a little higher. 33.3k max HP, which is insane. It's a lot of health, it's a lot of stamina, it's a lot of magicka. We also have a respectable amount of recovery here with 2000 mag recovery, 3000 health recovery, and 1100 stam recovery. I'm also decently tanky on this build, having 25k spell res and 20k fizz res with 1800 crit res. The spell penetration is also really high, being over 10,000 on this build. I have a variant with a little bit higher spell penetration as well. Now let's have a quick look at the changes that they did to medium armor passives and the reason why we're running a few pieces of medium on this build. The first one being dexterity. For each piece of medium armor you get 2% of critical damage and healing for both of stamina and magicka spells. And the second one being agility, increasing your weapon and spell damage by 2% for each piece of medium armor worn. Not to mention the rest of the benefits for wearing medium armor that we all know and love so much, with the cost reduction on dodge rolling and the stamina sustain. Waking Flame is definitely the crafted set DLC, since we want to have the freedom to customize our gear the way we want it to be. For this build I am running 5 pieces of Heartland and 5 pieces of Crafty Alfiq. My one piece monster set is Domihaus, and my mythic of choice for this specific variant is Gaze of Sithis. For this setup I have 3 medium pieces being chest, pants, and shoulders, 3 light pieces being the belt, boots, and gloves, and 1 heavy, which is the helmet. 3 of my items are well fitted and 4 of them are impenetrable. You could min-max that however you choose to. I have 4 impen because there's a lot of damage in the game. If you get crit and you don't have any impen, you're just gonna get deleted. So that's up for personal preference. Now on my jewelry I have 3 pieces of Triune, with 2 of my rings having Regen as my enchantment of choice. The necklace having Magicka recovery. My Inferno staff has Sharpened for that nice 6.5k penetration with a shock enchant, and my back bar is infused with a weapon damage enchant for that nice combo on the burst. All of my armor enchantments on this build are tri-stats. I will be sharing a few of the variants that I have for the build, mainly just replacing the Mythic. The first one that we have here is the Gaze of Sithis, which is a very tanky variant, and I want to say my personal favorite. But a close second, or might even be tied for first, is the Malacath variant. On the Malacath variant A, I dropped my heavy armor piece, and I'm using 3 medium and 4 light pieces. The damage is really nice. Malacath is a lot of consistency. I drop Inner Light and I use Bound Aegis for this variant. It's very similar on stats. I will show you guys. 4300 spell damage, 42k max mag, 28k max HP unbuffed, and 22k stam. Recoveries are very solid. It's actually a little better than the other build. My spell penetration is also a little higher. The other possibility here is with Torque. Torque is a really good item. I don't like playing with it too much personally. Like I respect it, it's really good, but you have that pressure to waste your resources to get the benefit of it. I'm not a huge fan, but hey, if you like it, go for it. It's pretty good. And we have the free-to-play version here, which is with the Ancient Guardian. Ancient Guardian complements his build perfectly. You benefit from any kind of sustain that you can get, and this thing gives you all the sustain that you might need. Alright, so to finalize this build video, let's have a look at the skills that we're using here. The first one being Crushing Shock, which is my spammable of choice. You can replace that with Elemental Weapon if you so desire. The second one is Bound Aegis, which is also replaceable with Inner Light. I switch between them. If I'm using Malacath, I'm usually going with Bound Aegis. If I'm not, I go for the crit. Crystal Frag for the big burst, Hardened Ward for the survivability, and Endless Fury for those big chunky execute combos. My ultimate of choice is Power Overload. This thing is just too incredible. I feel like it's needed. If you don't want it for some reason, you can replace it with Meteor or even Dawnbreaker. Actually, Dawnbreaker is doing a lot of damage now on Magicka Sorc. I actually kind of like it, but Power Overload just gives you agency. I feel like when you fight strong players on a team settings, like on a BG or something, you lack agency as a Magicka Sorc without Power Overload. Now for the back bar, we have Critical Surge for the buffs and the heal, Boundless Storm for, again, the buffs, and actually using this actively for the movement speed is really good. I'll do it a lot. Back bar Hunting Curse for the combo, Rapid Regen as my main source of heal, and Streak for mobility and CC purposes. My ultimate of choice on the back bar is Life Giver. It just gives you so much playmaking potential ability. It saves you from situations that you would have died otherwise. It saves your team. Since I play a lot of BGs, I use that a lot to save my teammates. If you don't want to use it, you can replace it with where is it? With Undo for the minor protection. I don't actually have that leveled, but I will at some point. The consumables that I'm running for this build are Tri-Stat potions and sugar skulls for the food. The race is the Breton. I really like it for the maximum Magicka, the sustain, and the ultra sustain with the cost reduction of my Magicka skills. I used to switch a lot my shield from the front bar to the back bar to the back bar to the front bar, and you know what, I actually think that previously having multiple shields in the back bar was kind of superior. I adapted my playstyle after trying front bar shield for a little bit. But now though, in this new patch where having a few pieces of medium is like actually really good, I feel like it's an indirect buff to this playstyle front bar shield. Or I guess not necessarily front bar shield, but having just one shield and relying a little bit more on your, stamina side of things to survive with more dodge rolling and stuff, sprinting more often. So I'm really enjoying the front bar shield. I feel like it's really strong. I feel like I can tank pretty much anything 1v1, or like in an outnumbered situation I can tank enough to survive. And I think that's pretty much it. That was the only observation I wanted to make. If you like my content, it'd be cool if you subbed, commented, and liked. I made a previous build video. I didn't really expect a lot of people to watch it, but it seems like it was very well received. So thank you for taking the time to watch this, and I really hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and that's pretty much it. Peace out.